to Singing Boston. I'm Kelly. I'm ever on a quest to find new and fun things to do with our honey and our beeswax. Today, I'm going to make hand-milled soap that uses our honey. So let's talk first about the ingredients. I got some melt and pour soap off of Kelly's Beekeeping online, of course. 3 tablespoons of water. 2 tablespoons of Singing Boston honey, or insert your favorite honey brand. 3 tablespoons of olive oil, a dash of nutmeg for some color, and soap molds. I found these super cute bee molds. This one is also from Kelly's Beekeeping, along with the wax. And this one was from Amazon, and it's a silicone mold. I'm also going to do something a little fun. I have these little silicone bowls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some colored soap. In this case, I'm going to use some purple. And with these silicone bowls, they're awesome because I can get really precise with the pouring of the colored soap into the 3D bees that are in my molds. So the first thing I'm going to do is start by melting my colored soap. In a little container like this, you want to do 10 or 15 seconds at a time, depending on your microwave. It will bubble up and boil out. So I'm going to start in 10 seconds. Not long enough, so another 10 seconds. All right, we're melted. So now I'm going to add my color. Mix it up. And again, this is nice that you can just use your regular kitchen utensils. You don't need specialty items the way you kind of do for wax, because that wax just coats everything and this just can be a bear. Now you want to make sure there's no chunks in it because it won't melt as you pour if it's chunky. So you will be left with chunks. And now I'm going to try and be really precise with my little bees. So I have little purple bees. This will cool off as you're working, just like wax, and just pop it back in the microwave. Again, just for a few seconds though, because you don't want it to overflow. And you could do a multitude of colors if you had the patience. Today I'm just going to make all purple bees. Now, just pop this into the fridge or the freezer to let it cool. Now, you will find that in a store, hand-milled soaps are more expensive because they tend to last longer and they're a little more specialized. So we are going to be using our whisk as well. So start melting in your microwave in 30-second increments. You don't want to let it get too hot, but you need it thoroughly melted. Now I'm going to melt the actual base. 30-second increments. I'm going to pre-mix my honey with my powdered milk and my oil so that it's all ready to go. So it's 2 tablespoons of honey. I'll go check my soap in a second here. 3 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now you can use almond oil or a lot of different kinds of oils, but olive oil is obviously going to be the most cost effective. I do like to use organic when I can get it. And my dash of nutmeg. Use as little or as much as you like, depending on the color that you want. And now I'm going to stir that all up so it's ready for my soap base. And I'm going to dump this in a bigger bowl so that I can use my whisk, because I want all the powdered milk to make sure that it dissolves. So my soap is not quite melted, which after 30 seconds I didn't really expect it to be. So we'll go for another 30. And we're hot. Just make sure all that. I'm actually going to add a little extra nutmeg. I'd like it a little darker. Now I'm going to add this in here, and we're going to mix it until it's the consistency of heavy cream. And I bought some rose petals here that I thought would be pretty to float in here. Had I thought ahead, I would have taken some flowers from our garden and dried them, but next year. As you're mixing, if you find it gets a little too sudsy, just add a little more olive oil or whatever kind of oil that you're using. I grabbed my mold out of the fridge. Now I'm going to float some of my rose petals. Break them up a little bit big there. I'm going to sprinkle a little more nutmeg that I don't actually mix in all the way. All right, if you are going to do like I did, where I made different colors in there, so there's already some soap in there, to make sure that you don't have bubbles, get some just plain old alcohol, put it in a spray bottle, and give a quick squirt. And now I'm going to pour some. I'm not actually going to fill them up all the way, and I'll show you why. So ahead of time, I have these little silicone molds. They're actually for candy, and I pre-made some cute little colors and patterns. And so as a surprise, I'm just going to pop them in there. And actually they were supposed to be purple and black. I thought my green was black. I have actually warned people, however, not to eat if you make just little ones like this, because they do look quite edible. I'm going to put them different directions. So some down and some up. And that's just a little fun extra thing. And pour the soap over the back. You could leave them show if you wanted to, of course. It's your soap. You're the boss. You can do whatever you want. Okay. Now you're going to carefully slide this in the fridge or freezer. You could just leave it sit on the counter, but it will take a little bit longer. And just let it cool off, and we'll check back in with it. Oh, let's unmold them. They do set up pretty quick. So these silicone molds are nice because you can just peel out. And there, I dribbled a little, is my gorgeous little honey soap. All the little specks are the nutmeg. Here are some other ones that I made previously. You can see it's got the outline of the bee. And it's multi-layered. Once you are done with your soaps, you need to leave them cure from anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks or possibly longer. If you want, you can weigh them, and when they stop losing weight, then they're ready to use. It's not like they'll be bad or anything, it's just that they won't lather very well. So make sure that you leave them cure in a spot that they can get a lot of air, something like this little cookie cooler, and leave them sit for 2 to 4 weeks. If you like this video, we hope you'll give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to The Singing Boston so you can see what other fun activities I come up with to do with our honey and our beeswax.